This is Australia. Vast deserts, world-class athletes, world-class actors. Come on, guys, what are you eating? Oh, and of course, kangaroos. You've seen them in documentaries, the powerful legs, the built-in nurseries, the boxing matches. But have you ever stopped to ask, why there? Why is it that if you want to see a kangaroo in the wild, you have to fly to a single massive island continent on the bottom of the globe? To understand this, we have to talk about the greatest breakup in Earth's history. This is why kangaroos exist only in Australia. Once upon a time, about 180 million years ago, there was a supercontinent called Gondwana. It held what we now know as Africa, South America, Antarctica, India, and Australia. Back then, primitive marsupials, the ancestors of kangaroos, weren't even in Australia yet. They actually started in North America, trekked down to South America, and hopped across a then green Antarctica to get to Australia. But then the Earth shifted. Australia broke away from Antarctica and began its long, slow drift northward into the isolation of the Pacific. Think of Australia as a massive evolutionary lifeboat. Once it snapped off from the rest of the world, it became a closed system. In the rest of the world, the Americas, Eurasia, Africa, placental mammals, creatures like lions, wolves, and horses, became the dominant players. They were, frankly, more efficient at outcompeting and eating the marsupials. On the mainland of the world, marsupials mostly went extinct. But on Australia, no lions, no wolves, no placental competition. The marsupials had the whole place to themselves. They didn't just survive, they thrived. As Australia drifted north, it got hotter and drier. The lush forests died back, replaced by vast, arid grasslands. This is where the kangaroo truly became a masterpiece of engineering. Running on 4 legs is expensive in terms of energy. Hopping, however, is like using a pogo stick. The tendons in a kangaroo's legs store energy on the way down and release it on the way up. It is the most energy-efficient way to travel long distances across a desert looking for water. And if there's a drought, a female kangaroo can actually pause the development of an embryo until the rain returns. It's a survival tactic perfectly tuned to Australia's unpredictable climate. So why only Australia? Because it was the perfect storm of geological isolation and environmental pressure. But wait a minute, kangaroos can also be found in New Guinea, right? Of course there are. When we talk about Australia in a biological sense, we're actually talking about a much larger landmass called Sahul. During the last ice age, sea levels were much lower. Australia, New Guinea, and Tasmania weren't separated by water. They were all part of one continuous continent called Sahul. There was a massive land bridge where the Torres Strait is now. Kangaroos didn't have to swim. They literally just walked or hopped north into the tropical forests. While the mainland of Australia became a giant dry frying pan, New Guinea stayed lush, tropical, and wet. This created a fascinating evolutionary split. In the dry south, kangaroos stayed on the ground, evolving those massive pogo stick legs to cover huge distances across a desert looking for water. In the north, New Guinea and parts of Queensland, some kangaroos actually climbed back into the trees. If you go to New Guinea today, you won't see the iconic red kangaroo bounding across a desert. Instead, you'll find their cousins, tree kangaroos, wallabies, and dorcopses. They have shorter, broader feet for gripping branches and long, heavy tails for balance instead of just speed. But why don't they go any further? Why aren't they in Indonesia or Malaysia? It's because of the Wallace Line, a deep water trench between the islands of Bali and Lombok. Even when sea levels were at their lowest, that trench was too deep for a land bridge to form. It acted as an invisible barrier. On one side, Asian mammals, tigers, rhinos, apes. On the other, Australian marsupials, kangaroos, possums, and koalas. New Guinea is the northernmost tip of that marsupial kingdom. To sum it up, Australia gave them a safe haven from the rest of the world's predators, and then forced them to evolve into the hopping, heat-resistant icons we see today. So the next time you see a kangaroo, Remember, if Australia hadn't drifted away, kangaroos might not exist at all.